everybody.
Welcome to our Charmed Midlife.
Yep.
We made it to number 3.
Yeah, that was easy for us.
Was it?
Well, maybe not.
This was a busier week, I think. So
we had more going on. I don't know how entertaining it's going to be, but we definitely had more going on.
We never know how entertaining anything is.
That's very
but
true.
We're still doing it.
Yeah.
So what difference does it make?
Gosh, we're sorry.
I'm Danny.
And I'm John.
And this is our Charmed Midlife. Somewhat weekly podcast where we're talking about all things theme park related, Disney related, our midlife moments, and also reviewing TV and movies.
Yep.
So if any of that interests you, stick around. Today especially, we're going to be talking about the Disney Cruise Line because they released new details on their newest ship. So that's why we have our Disney statues here, which we will get into. But first segment always is John's Joke Corner.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Well, and I already apologized. Gosh, we're sorry, but so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I have 5 this week.
Oh gosh.
Down from 6 last week.
Yes.
I'm not saying these are any better, but there's fewer of them. So, we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Again, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Why do people in Greece hate waking up at dawn?
I don't know.
Because dawn's tough on Greece.
Oh no. Do they still use that tagline? Because I think just cut out like most generations below us. Do they still use that?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Oh, I don't even remember which one it is.
Oh boy.
Oh, wrong one.
Oh, that was loud.
That was loud.
Sorry about that.
Turning that down.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Turn down the crowd.
Okay, next one.
Okay. What did Jay-Z call his girlfriend after he proposed?
Beyonce?
Nope. Fiancé. Oh, that's great. What's small, red, and has a gravelly voice?
I don't know.
A horseradish.
That was actually good. I like that one.
Oh, these are categorized. The adults told these, but these seem like second grade jokes.
Yes.
Did you hear about the astronomer that put beef in his body wash?
Beef in his body wash?
Yes.
No.
Apparently, he wanted a meteor shower.
Okay, we're getting better.
Okay.
Don't let us down.
Woo-hoo. I shouldn't have ended on this one. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
A book fell on my head earlier today. I only have my shelf to blame.
No, we were ramping up. I feel like that one was. That was a roller coaster.
As are most things with me.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
All right, I'm done apologizing. You asked for it.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Thank you for that. We will move on now to our charmed moments.
Ooh, all right.
All right. So this week, I think it was Thursday. I had kind of a real junky day. And all I could think was ice cream.
Oh, yep.
Which I think ice cream most moments of most days.
Yeah.
It is my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
But we had none in the house, which meant I was thinking, where do we go to get it?
Can I take you to get ice cream?
Yes. Super lactose intolerant, but that's okay. Let's roll the dice.
So I started looking online for reservations to Beaches and Cream, which is at the beach resort, Disney's, I think, what is it actually called? Like the yacht club and beach club. Yacht club and beach
separate.
resort. Yeah. So Beaches and Cream is at the beach resort, and they have kind of just basic diner food, like sandwiches, grilled cheese, and Reubens and stuff. And then they have ice cream.
Yeah, they're mostly an ice cream shop. Their food menu is not very extensive.
Right, but it's good food.
It's
still.
good food. It's
good
diner food.
So I wasn't able to find a reservation for Friday. So I thought I'd let you guys in a little tip if you don't know about Mouse Dining. mousedining.com, I think is, yes. You can go on there and you can put in any Disney World. They also have the Disneyland restaurants in there. That you want a reservation for if you're not able to find it. And you can put in for specific dates. I think you can actually have up to 3 dates. They charge $5. And then they'll start texting you whenever a reservation becomes available for the dates that you're looking for. It's awesome.
Interesting.
And so I started getting texts right away. I put in for Friday and Saturday. I got some first on Saturday. And then one came in for Friday afternoon. And it was bingo.
That's interesting. So you pay $5 and they do the legwork of keeping tabs on.
And it's a text, so it comes to you right away. But you have to be fast. You have to get on that because a lot of people, obviously, a lot of times these are the busy ones, the busy restaurants.
The good ones.
You have to get in there and you have to make sure you're logged into Disney Experience and then get the reservation as soon as you can.
Yeah.
But for me, I think it's a great service. I think they have some sort of you can pay some kind of subscription fee, and then you can have unlimited number of dates and reservations that they're looking for. But I don't know what that is.
Okay.
So that's Mouse Dining. So it's a good tip. So we were able to get that. So Friday afternoon we went and took off to Beaches and Cream.
Where the crowds will cheer.
Welcome to Walt Disney World.
Voice keeps saying, this is where I'm meant to be.
Yep.
And it was raining. It was off and on raining.
Yeah, it was off and on. We got in there okay.
Yes.
And we actually got out okay.
No, we got there just as we had just driven through a storm because we got there and they were making everyone get out of the pool. So we knew it was going to be kind of crowded around there.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Beaches Resort, we have never stayed there.
No.
Would love to. It's so gorgeous. That's where the Cape May buffet is, which we do want to go and do. They have a character dining buffet.
Yep.
But anyway, so we went.
Is that the one we walked past as we go to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I ordered the gluten-free grilled cheese and let's start with your tots because you ordered an appetizer of.
I was really hungry when we got there and I ordered an appetizer. They have some of the best tots around.
Their plain tater tots somehow are so good.
Just the chunk of potato that's fried.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Better than most. That's for sure.
It's so crazy.
Yeah. So on their menu, they have different ways you can get them. And I did the chili cheese tots.
Yes, he did.
Yes, I did. Well, you sampled some. Even though
I did.
There were a few that didn't have any chili on them. So she tried those. But they did have the cheese and sour cream.
That cheese sauce is good. Yeah.
Yeah, the cheese sauce is really good. So, and the chili, as a meat eater, the chili was actually really good.
I'm glad because sometimes he gets a lot of things with chili on them and it's hit or miss.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Even at Disney, there's been times you've had chili that you didn't like.
Yeah, they have Walt's chili at a few places, and that's always really good. But there's other chilies out there, even on property, that are not Walt's chili.
Yeah.
This was not Walt's chili, but it was still really good.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you like that.
Yep.
So then I ordered for my meal the gluten-free grilled cheese sandwich and side of tater tots. It normally comes with a tomato soup. I substitute that for the tots because the tots are so good. And here's the weird thing, and I don't know if anyone has ever ordered just the grilled cheese at Beaches and Cream. Do you get 2 sandwiches? Because every time we go and I order that, they give me 2 sandwiches. And I don't understand why.
I have to believe that's because the gluten-free bread is slightly smaller. So they try to make up for it.
But they pack. I mean,
the cheese.
I always take one sandwich home.
Yeah.
But man, it is. I'm going to say, and because Jolly Holiday at Disneyland has a wonderful grilled cheese, but they give it to me like on a hamburger bun. The fact that Beaches and Cream gives it to me on bread, and then they have like their garlic spread in there, and then whatever kind of mixture of cheeses they put in there. It is just the best sandwich.
Yeah.
My mouth is watering.
It was pretty lousy with cheese. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cheese on there.
It was very good.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't have, because I was there for the ice cream. I should not have gotten a meal. But anyway, so then for your meal, you ordered something you hadn't ordered before.
I hadn't, and I ordered the burger. Just I think
Cheeseburger.
it was All-American burger or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just a standard burger with, the burger patty and cheese and lettuce, tomato. I got some mayonnaise, pickles, onions. Pretty standard burger. It was good. It was really good.
Yeah, you were, because again,
So I'm a little bit funny when it comes to burgers.
he loves burgers.
So where's our icon? You'll see in my icon, I'm holding a laptop and an iPad and a burger. That's my
his
bobblehead.
Funko that we
Funko.
have as our mascot. I bought. I'll just segue into that real quick.
Okay.
Sideline. Sidebar. Tangent. For Christmas this past year, my sister and her family came down, and so we were all together. And so I bought everyone. You can customize Funko Pops to look however you want them to look. So I bought all of us customized Funkos, and that's why I use them in our in our main screen, and then also for all of our ratings. So yes, you get to choose 2 accessories to give each person for their customized Funko Pop. And so for him, one is a burger and the other is his laptop, because he's always on his computer.
So my accessory is a burger. So there you go.
So it's pretty telling.
I'm known for my affinity for burgers. Anyway, that was the long way to get to the point that it was really good. I'm probably a little weird in that I don't like a thick burger patty.
Right.
The thicker burger patties turn me off. But this was a little bit thicker one, but it didn't turn me off. It was.
Well, you said it was juicy and that it had the great. It's always about the proportions of all the toppings, right?
Yeah, it had enough toppings that it kind of distracted from that. But at the same time, the burger was good. It wasn't too meaty. It had good flavor, but it wasn't like, oh, that's a lot of meat. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, it was a good middle of the road patty, and the toppings were fresh, and it was just really, really good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then for the reason that we were there, and here's a huge difference between us, which there's many.
Mm-hmm. What?
But
No.
He prefers savory food.
Yes.
He would much rather have the food than the dessert. I would much rather have the dessert than the food. So I ordered for myself they call it the No Way Jose sundae. It's 1 scoop of vanilla, 1 scoop of chocolate ice cream, and then the most hot fudge and peanut butter that has ever been put on a sundae. I mean, it comes in this big round thing, and you think you haven't eaten it. Like, so I can go through 2 scoops of ice cream pretty quickly. And then there's just inches of the fudge and the peanut butter left on the bottom. And I kind of kept trying, thinking maybe there was some ice cream left.
Yeah.
And then I'd take a whole thing, and it was all peanut butter, all, chocolate, which I normally don't mind, but I was so full from eating the meal that, but it's just, their ice cream is so good. Everything is so good.
Yeah.
He, in my opinion, boringly ordered.
So I blew it.
It's what you like.
Well, it is what I like, but when you're at an ice cream place, you should get a sundae or something. And I looked at that banana split several times, and I was like, oh, I should do that. I thought about your dad. And,
yeah, but it is huge.
Yeah, well, that's when he got it. It was I was put off by it because it was like mammoth. So I just got a chocolate malt.
Yeah. Which he was able to take with us, and so it worked out well.
Yeah.
The big thing at Beaches and Cream, if you have not been there, is that they have a special Sunday called the Kitchen Sink Sunday.
Yep.
It's a whole celebration when someone orders this, and
It's an event.
Instead of me trying to explain it, I think I'm just going to enter
Yeah, we took
the video. We took the
a little
video of how they present this and make a big deal about it when someone enters it. So I'll play that here.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun because
It is a lot of fun.
A lot of people in the restaurant, probably half the people know the spiel and half the people it's their first time or whatever, and so it's a lot of fun to just see everyone react to these huge sundaes coming out.
Whole can.
Yeah, I mean you aren't allowed to choose your flavors. Like they put everything together for you.
It's
in
predetermined.
There. But it's a lot. But so you need a big table and everyone can share and then enjoy in that fun. But it's a lot of fun.
We've never seen anybody try to tackle it on their own. It's always a group of people.
No.
And
If I could choose the flavors, I would tackle it on my own. But I love ice cream, so
Oh, yeah, that's too much for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's Beaches and Cream. If you can get there, again, it is one of those hard ones to get a good reservation for. Plan ahead, but definitely get there. And the beach resort is very lovely, wonderful people that work there.
Yeah.
And always great service and all of that you come to expect. And parking is free, which is very important.
Which is, better than some.
Yeah.
Yeah, the walk to the building isn't bad. But from the front entrance of the Dolphin, from the front entrance
Beach
of the
resort.
Beach Resort, it's you walk a little ways to get there. But it's air conditioning and it's really nice. And
Right.
you walk by the pool and
Yeah,
it's really nicely laid out. So
definitely.
it's a good walk.
Yeah, and from there you can walk around to the boardwalk. And then, there's a lot of places to enjoy over there. So if you're staying at the boardwalk, walk over, vice versa. So it's really convenient.
The Dolphin.
The Dolphin.
I'm stuck on Rosa.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Sorry.
Okay, so then that was it as far as anything Disney that we actually did this week. However, they have released some new information regarding the Disney Treasure, which is the newest cruise ship coming to the Disney Cruise Line, which we are very excited about. We are booked on this ship in February for a 7-night cruise. So
Is
we're
it the
very
inaugural
excited.
cruise or is it just
No,
one of the first?
their inaugural cruise is Christmas week.
Oh, yeah. We couldn't,
But it's crazy
we
expensive.
Couldn't get it.
Crazy expensive.
We could have gotten it, but we just...
No, I mean for half the price we're going in February. So we'll probably be the 7th or 8th cruise.
We couldn't
So-
justify a second mortgage.
So I just wanted to point these out. I so people could see them a little better. So these are the statues that are found in the lobbies of the ships. We have only done 3 ships. So this one is the Cinderella statue that's in the lobby of the Wish. This is Captain Mickey. That's in the lobby of the Magic, which is their very first ship that we just went on in May. And then this is Ariel, and she's on the Wonder, and that was our very first Disney Cruise Line cruise. So we'll be going on the Treasure in February. That statue is going to be of Jasmine and Aladdin. The Treasure has this whole treasure.
Yeah.
Treasure. I wanted to say Adventure, but Adventure is another ship that's coming out next year that will sail from Singapore. So I'm trying not to get the two confused. So Jasmine and Aladdin will be the lobby statue, and then on the back of every Disney ship is a character painting the Disney logo on there. And for the treasure, it's going to be Peter Pan and Captain Hook, which looks very adorable.
Yep.
So a few things that they came out and announced was that trying to not get ahead of myself. So the 3 restaurants, in Disney Cruise Line, there's always 3 restaurants that you rotate through. And since this is a sister ship to the Wish, there are 2 that already exist on the Wish. One is the Worlds of Marvel restaurant, and then the 1923 restaurant. However, on the Wish right now, and I don't know if they're going to change the show on the Wish, but they're saying that on the Treasure for the Worlds of Marvel show, instead of being Ant-Man and the Wasp and that whole Avengers show, it's going to be like a Groot dance show or something like that. Oh yeah, Seasons Grootings right on his shirt.
Johnny's t-shirt today.
Yeah.
Christmas in July.
My shirt is Tangled.
Yeah.
The son of Corona.
Corona.
So that's going to be the difference at Worlds of Marvel. 1923 looks like it's staying the same. And then the 3rd restaurant, instead of being the Frozen restaurant on the Wish, this one is going to be Coco themed.
Yeah.
We are very, very excited.
Yeah.
Coco's it was on last night. I watched it last night.
Yep.
So they're going to have Mexican food, obviously. They did come out with the menu. It looks really good. Lots of good food on there.
Yep.
And there's going to be entertainment, just like in the Frozen restaurant where there's a center stage and they come out and perform. The same thing's going to happen. Miguel will come out and perform, and then whatever family members as well.
Yeah. I can't wait.
It's going to be very cool.
Yeah. Just seeing how they did, what's his face? The villain.
Olaf? Oh.
No. The villain from Coco. What's his name? I can't think of his name.
De La Cruz?
Yeah, De La Cruz. How Disneyland.
At
California.
Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, how they've done that character at DCA.
That's right. Good point.
The way they can do those characters, it's going to be really good.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've also given us renderings of the new show. The main stage show is going to be Moana, which is his absolute favorite. Yep. At some point, we are going to have to show everyone your art collection of Moana.
Wall. Yeah.
Your Moana wall.
My tribute. It's turning into a tribute wall, I think.
Yes.
It's really just artwork.
But the artwork for the show looks insane.
Yeah, the renderings are fantastic.
Oh, my God. I think they're also still going to have a Beauty and the Beast and, there are other normal Disney shows, but the Moana one is the big one on this ship. And then the special lounges that they're going to have that differ from the Wish 2, they have a Haunted Mansion lounge, which looks fantastic and super cool.
Yeah.
They have a Jungle Cruise lounge, which looks cute.
Not a huge fan, but the way it looks is really good.
Yeah. And then instead of having the typical English pub that's on all these ships, they're doing the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which I think is replacing where the Star Wars bar is.
Yeah, that was one of the first Disney movies I remember watching.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I do remember being on the horrible ride and claustrophobic.
I remember. Sorry. Go ahead. I didn't want you to have to talk about it, so I was trying to change the subject.
Oh, no.
I'm
it's
kidding.
just horrible to be in the summer at Disney World as a child, and I was just so hot and dying and waiting in line to get onto a stupid little submarine where I was just so claustrophobic and dying and hot and everything. It was just, that's all I remember of that ride.
Let's take you out of this horrible setting and put you in a little tube with all kinds of strangers.
Oh, awful.
In the same setting. Yeah, sorry for interrupting.
That's okay. And then the theater, they're calling, I think, the Sarabi Theater. It's going to be like a Lion King themed, whole African theme type thing, which is awesome. And then there's some of these things we did have before. So really what they came out with this week was the menu to the Coco restaurant and this news of the Groot thing. So I'm repeating a lot of information that people already knew, as well as the picture of the lobby, which again, I just think looks amazing. It's all these dark like blues and golds instead of where the Wish is this bright white, light ship. Sorry. And so it's going to be very exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited. And if any of you have booked anything on the Disney Treasure yet, definitely comment down below and let us know. We still have not been. So we did the Wonder in 21. That was our first Disney cruise. Why are you laughing?
Is your favorite picture of me?
It is my favorite picture of him because we went on this cruise from California. It was when we lived there, from San Diego down to Mexico. And it was in October, and it turns out it's really cold. And we were freezing. And this was also like one of the first cruises that came back after the pandemic. And so everyone was required to wear masks at all times. And so the mask helped because it kept us warm.
Yeah.
But we were bundled and we were idiots sitting up on the side, up on the upper deck watching the movie.
We were watching the funnel vision and we were like...
The poor cast members kept coming by. Do you want blankets? Do you want this? Because it was so cold and so windy.
We don't
and
want
we
blankets.
We just kept sticking it out.
5 minutes later, ooh, sir, can I have a blanket, please?
But the Wonder was great. I
Yes.
think, and again, it was barely half full. That has the Tiana restaurant, which was just so much fun, and then Animator's Palette, of course, which is a great show. And yeah, so that was our first experience. And then 2 years ago, we went on the Wish, which was one of the inaugural.
Yep.
We went maybe 2 months after it started sailing. And that was different because they had opened up everything from the pandemic, but we weren't still entirely comfortable. So we were still wearing our masks in a lot of places. We did not go to all of the dinners because it was so crowded.
Yeah.
But loved the ship and still had a great time and still can't wait to get back on the Wish. Definitely. But what?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say as long as they have chicken tendies, we'll be on a cruise.
Chicken tendies and on the Wish, the barbecue restaurant on the Marceline Market, the pool deck on the Wish is so much better than the pool deck on any other, and I'm sure everyone's heard about it, but they have this barbecue restaurant that he loved, and they have the Daisy's Cantina or whatever that it was like Chipotle but good, and it was just, I mean, that was just wonderful.
Yeah, and we, like Danny said, we weren't totally comfortable with the size of the crowds and that sort of thing, so we many times, probably more than we should have and probably more than most, I would go up and get a plate of barbecue for myself and some really good Mexican stuff for Danny and take it back to the room.
Yeah.
And it was perfect. It was just great.
It was wonderful.
It's
That
so
was
good.
Yeah.
Oh, those barbecue, the sauces, I can still taste them.
That's
anyway. So.
And then the Magic we just went on in May, and that was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. So the Magic is their oldest ship, their first ship. It is the sister to the Wonder, so it felt like we had been on it.
Yeah, it was very
familiar. It was very familiar. Instead of the Tiana restaurant, though, they had Rapunzel's restaurant.
Yep.
Which I was completely starstruck. I mean, she walked by the first time, and I was like, she looked at me. Like, it was just, and that's
little kid.
That's the best thing about these ships is that, like when you go into this place, first off, you're not in this boring dining hall, no matter which of these restaurants it is. So Animator's Palette has, on the Magic and the Wonder, has the best show that, it's just, tears every time. Yeah. But being in Rapunzel's restaurant and being in the setting with the lanterns, and then she's there and she's singing, and the ruffians are there and the ruffians are singing, and they come around and talk to you, and and you're there celebrating Rapunzel's birthday, and then they sing "At Last I See the Light," and they start a lantern brigade walking around. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it was
just
good.
wonderful.
And look, we can't talk about it without bringing up the service.
Yes,
The service, we've always had fantastic service no matter where we've been on a Disney cruise.
yes.
But
our
and
guys on the Magic were
I
the
don't
best.
remember names ever at all. Like, I thought we went to the Dolphin to go to Beaches and Cream. Joe and Anvil.
Yeah.
On the Magic, our servers
We're our
for
main
dinner.
server and assistant server, I guess.
Their service was way above and way beyond,
And you'll find
entertaining.
you might think that we're being crazy because we're talking about our servers, but I'm serious. You talk to anyone who's been on Disney cruises,
Yeah.
you get on the ship and go and seek out your favorite people and say, "Can I be on your rotation?" Because this happens for everyone. You fall in love with, because your servers come with you every single night at your restaurants, and so they get to know what you want, and you get to just know them, and these guys were just the nicest
Yeah.
and most wonderful, and Joe was just this entertaining guy that
Energetic, entertaining.
so just
mean,
joyous and lovely, and it changes everything. It makes
That's part of what makes it special for
Yeah.
you. I mean, it
Yeah.
really does. And
room attendants too. We've always had
Oh,
great
yeah.
room
Yeah, yeah.
attendants, and they're lovely and everything. But these servers, and especially because we got switched into this section, we were going to be sitting somewhere else.
yeah.
And just for having us move tables, which they asked us to do, they gave us a bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
So every night we had champagne, which was just
They
like,
followed us
we were
for
like,
the 3 nights.
we don't care if we
Yeah,
switch, but
yeah.
they were just
They didn't need to, but they did.
the best.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah,
So
it was-
if you get on the Magic, ask for Anvil and Joe
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
sure.
They're
You won't regret it.
phenomenal.
And actually, we were watching. Someone else went on the Magic after us. We watch a lot of YouTube vloggers, and someone
who
like
was
they
it?
panned by, and we saw Joe, and both
Yeah.
of us were like, Joe, like
It's
like-
Joe!
I'm like, I just want to book something and get back on there. It's just so silly, but it's true.
It was funny. Yeah.
It's like his family or
Oh
something.
yeah. It's somebody you know who's now special to you.
Yeah. And Disney Cruise Line, if you haven't done it, it's not just for kids, obviously. We enjoy it tremendously. Last year we did a Virgin cruise, and we have another Virgin cruise coming up in October. Only because we kind of have to. We have a credit there. It wasn't my thing.
We booked the second one before we had gone on the
Yeah.
first. And
If we had known, we
hadn't,
wouldn't have the second
we
one.
wouldn't have the second
But it's not that it was bad, and it's for a certain kind of person. It's just I don't like a lot of people talking to me.
well, we've talked about our neurodivergence before.
We haven't on here that
Oh,
much.
okay.
I'm autistic, and
yes, you are.
yes, I am. And it's very hard to have people just kind of talk to me all the time out of the blue, and.
Yeah.
And with Virgin, that's exactly, and that's wonderful, right? People are personable and they want to talk to you. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
And again, if I am going to talk to Disney people, like I have talked to people on the cruises and we've met people, but it's just different because they're Disney people. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
It just has
but
a different feel.
anyway, we will be going on a Virgin cruise in October. We will document it. We will
Yep.
be sharing with you guys again. He loves it because there's a casino. They do have wonderful food. There's nothing to complain about with Virgin. It's a vibe thing for me. And so we won't be doing that. And now we're looking at a Christmas cruise at the Margaritaville. They have a new ship out, and we're thinking about doing that for Christmas.
I paid
so.
for part of our cruise in the casino.
Yes, you did.
So,
Absolutely. So anyway, so that's our cruising experience.
Yep.
Obviously, we have more booked. We will be sharing as we do all of these
yep.
things.
Yep.
As far as then, let's go on to our midlife moments.
Okay.
All right. So Sunday, this week we went to.
Sunday.
Oh, let's see if there we go.
Yep.
We went and saw Les Miserables.
Les Miserables.
with my parents at the Dr. Phillips Center in Orlando.
Yep.
And here's something kind of cool. Let's see.
Oh,
So this
story
is
time.
one of my books of playbills. The very first one in my book is from Les Mis that my parents took me to see in New York 35 years ago. Almost exactly to the day.
If she really didn't mention it before, theater chick.
Oh, yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
Broadway.
This is
Yep.
a Broadway tattoo.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
So
Really getting to know you in this episode.
I know, it's
Yeah.
weird.
Yep.
So my parents took me. It was my very first Broadway show 35 years ago, and I've seen it a few times in the 35 years since then, but they hadn't. And so it was kind of cool to go with them again and have them see it again and what they thought, and they seemed to like it.
Yeah.
You've seen it before as well. I've taken him before.
Yeah, so here's the problem with me. I have a horrible memory, right? I'm widely regarded as having the world's second worst memory, right? So I didn't really... I remember parts of it. I remember the feel of it. And she's shown me YouTube videos of somebody doing a special rendition of one of the songs and that sort of thing. So I kind of brought it back. But I didn't really retain a lot from that show. I will retain a lot from this one. This one made what's going to be a much bigger impression on me. And it could be the stage of life that I'm in. It could be my charmed midlife.
Well, I think sometimes seeing something for a second time makes a difference.
Yeah.
And
That could be too, yeah.
I think we were closer, so that also helps, at least in my opinion. I think
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
We had fifth row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah,
very,
it was great.
Yeah, it was a great production, a wonderful cast, wonderful voices. They really did a great job. Good
Yeah.
staging. Everything was great. I know they're touring, so if they're coming to you, definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just gotta, point this one fella out. The guy who plays Jean Valjean was unbelievable. I was amazed that we were seeing this guy. He could have and probably should have been elsewhere. Like he could be downtown New York. In
Nick Cartel was his name.
In a lot of shows. I mean, he was just phenomenal, right?
Oh, his voice was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
Sometimes you see that these shows are traveling, and even though they're the off-Broadway production of it, sometimes it's a little hit and miss, whatever. This was all hit. I mean, there wasn't a single thing I can pick on the show, and that guy was just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he was very good. And it's, I think a lot of people get confused because of the movie, and I'm not a big fan of the movie. I wasn't a big fan of a lot of the talent they chose to be in the movie. So if you can see it live with the way it should sound, I would say definitely see it live.
And the woman who played Eponine, I mean...
Yeah, and Fontaine.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Memory.
Yeah, and Les Mis isn't even probably in my top 5. But in French class in high school, my name was Eponine.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, not top 5, but when you see a really good production of even something that's down your list, it sticks with you.
It's a wonderful classic show.
Yeah,
It's been around for 39 years, really. So for something to stick around that long, there's a reason.
How long is it running here? When does it end?
I think we might have been towards the end.
Oh,
but
okay.
I think it's moving to Tampa after this. So
Okay.
again, wherever you are, just check out to see if it's coming.
Yeah.
And then after the show, we went back to Rosa Mexicano at the Dolphin.
At the Dolphin. Hey, I know where that is.
Yeah. And again, unfortunately, I didn't take a lot of video or anything from this whole day. We just kind of were in our own little world, I think.
Yeah.
But
Well, we were with your parents, and
Right.
that was a little bit different. And
we had not been to Rosa Mexicano for dinner, so this was
Right.
going to be good. We've been there many times for breakfast.
Yep.
Love their breakfast. And we did talk about this a little bit. So I got first for appetizers, my parents got the shrimp ceviche, which they said they loved. They really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I guess it was very
It was a
spicy.
little bit spicy, and they love spice.
Yeah, and we got the the bean and cheese empanadas, which are gluten free. They were really good.
They were really
I could have
good.
eaten 20 of those.
I could have had like 3 plates of that for
Yeah,
my meal.
it was really good.
Yeah.
Then my mom ordered the duck carnitas mole enchiladas. She said they were good, but not great.
Yeah, she's a mole person, so she's a little bit particular about her mole, and that's I get that. That's
It
perfectly
wasn't
fine.
spicy enough.
And this
That's
this
what it
was a
was.
little bit bland,
Yeah.
I guess, which you know.
My dad got the chili relleno, which he normally loves, but they have a different thing there. It's not necessarily stuffed with cheese. It's like stuffed with quinoa and a bunch of other
Yeah.
things. So,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like battered and fried. So again, he liked it, but I did their enchilada tasting, which is $33, and you get to choose 3 of their enchiladas. I did 2 cheese and 1 chicken, and I did 2 with the green sauce and 1 with red. It was wonderful. I loved all of the food. The chicken was great. The sauces were great, but not. And it comes with a bowl of Mexican rice. The rice was very dry and very hard.
The rice was a mess.
And $33 for those 3 enchiladas seemed very overpriced to me.
Yep.
And for your entree,
I got the beef birria tacos.
oh, that's right,
With consomme, and
which you loved.
I did. I loved it. So I have always wanted to try beef birria. I've seen a lot of vlogs and people at like Disneyland and
Yeah.
DCA doing the birria and that sort of thing, and always wanted to try it and never had a good opportunity really to do it. And this was a good opportunity, so I did it. And man, I'm a big fan of that seasoning, that style of cooking, and
And the consomme.
and the taco dipped in the consomme. I mean, that was so good. The only thing I'm gonna say is that it was kind of a small portion. You got 3
Right.
tacos, but they were almost mini tacos.
Yeah, that's again, it's like for the price.
Yeah.
We just everything was well made. But I think for the price they were charging for these things, it really didn't feel like it was worth it. Like I think we said, if we go back, we will go back for breakfast. We feel like the breakfast is definitely worth the value.
Yeah.
The dinner didn't seem to hold up to that value for us.
Not really. I think the highlight was getting our parking validated.
Yeah, they did.
Really.
They, like we said before, they don't validate for breakfast. They do for dinner. So, again, be aware of that you will get charged for parking, or go to Hollywood
Yeah.
Studios and take the boat over, so that way you don't have to park there at all.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a letdown.
A little bit of a letdown. It was good.
but at least now we know.
Now we
because
know.
we have been wanting to really try that. So at least now we know.
Yep.
So that was Sunday. That was really it for our week. I mean, we really didn't have a lot else going on. Mm-hmm. So let's move on to what are we watching?
Hey, what are you watching?
Hey, what are you watching?
I don't know.
All right. So before we get into the one thing, we only have one thing to talk about this week. My cousin and I go back and forth, and we kind of ask these questions to each other every week in our emails. And this week, for whatever reason, I just asked her if she could come up with her top 5 favorite sitcoms of all time. And I thought, you know what? Let's pose that question to each other and see if we can do this, because this is one of those hard things for me. I mean, I need to really do it by 70 to 75 and then 76 to 80. Like I to come up with a top 5 of all time is pretty. I mean, this is my list of sitcoms that were just off the top of my head while I was like, what are some of my favorites? So trying to come up with 5 out of these was nearly impossible, which I did do 6. But because they're lateral, I kind of have 2, 2, and 2.
Okay. I mean, look, it's your list and it's your show.
Yeah.
So I get that.
So why don't we start with you? You just name off your 5 and if you have reasons or whatever.
Well, I mean, look, best of all time sitcoms, television's been around for 70 years, 80 years.
Yeah,
whatever.
you forget how old we are now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been around a long time. This is subjective, right? It's very subjective because everybody has their thing.
Yeah, that's why. You just need to say for your reason.
Yeah, so I'm not going to put a lot of explanation into it. None of these are unknowns. They're all very well known.
Yeah, he's not a huge television watcher to begin with. And then especially sitcoms. Anyway, it's actually very hard to get him to watch any show. Go ahead.
Okay, so my list, it's pretty much in order. A couple of them could be changed, but whatever.
Okay.
My number 1. Should I start at 5 or number 1?
It doesn't matter to me. If you have them in an order, then go ahead and choose however you want to do it.
I'm going to start at number 1 because number 5 is going to surprise you.
Okay.
Number 1 is MASH.
I'm not surprised.
I loved MASH as a young lad, and I'll still catch reruns of it sometimes, and Alan Alda is just almost the epitome of sitcom talent.
I agree.
To me, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
We had this discussion on if sitcom really meant a 30-minute show. And my thing is that Mrs. Maisel was always entered into the comedy award category. Mm-hmm. And so now, is it a situational comedy? I don't know. Is there a difference between a comedy show and a situational comedy? I don't know, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, I I considered Ted Lasso as well. Didn't make my list. It's probably top 10. It's somewhere down there, but not top 5. Because that was, while that had a lot of entertaining and funny parts to it, was almost more of a drama to me. Drama-like. And Mrs. Maisel was centered around the comedy world. So a lot of it was just inherently funny. So that's why that went out.
Okay.
Third, the Bob Newhart Show. Bob Newhart, to me, again, just like Alan Alda, he's like comedy gold. I mean...
Yeah. So Bob Newhart Show over Newhart?
Yes. I think the original...
I don't think I've ever seen the Bob Newhart Show.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a few years older than
you. Yeah, I know you are.
But
Newhart was great.
Well, okay, either one. Okay. Actually. Newhart was great. I'm thinking back to the original.
Okay.
But it's just... Dude is just funny.
Yes, absolutely.
And WKRP in Cincinnati. Now, it turns out a lot of these, 3 of these 5 are older shows. I did look at a lot of current shows, new shows, and that sort of thing. And they're up there. We talked about Big Bang Theory, which I thought is really funny. Worthy of, top 10, top 5. I don't know. But, looked at a lot of newer shows. And this is just where I arrived at.
Okay.
And number 5?
Yeah.
New Girl.
That's not surprising.
No. I thought for sure you'd be surprised.
No.
Okay.
Not one bit.
Well, you turned me on to it, so I got to thank you for it. Jake Johnson is just...
Yeah.
And Max...
yeah.
Greenfield? What's his name?
Greenfield.
Okay.
I actually don't know.
Oh, boy. Well,
anyway.
Schmidt. Those two are just hilarious together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Secretly love.
Okay, so my top 6, I guess again, these aren't like the best ever. These aren't the award winners. I just kind of went with my favorites that I find comforting, that I put on all the time, and I watch over and over and over again. Right. Now, that could be said for MASH. I've seen a million times. That could be said for I Love Lucy, that I've been watching since I was little. That could be said for Family Ties and Growing Pains and The Cosby Show, which is still one of my favorite shows ever. Yeah. But instead I went with these because of the reasons vis-a-vis the following. First is Friends.
There you go.
Anyone who knows me knows that is my comfort show. I have it on all night long while I'm sleeping. I watch it most days. I do know it inside and out, and have now you're talking. It's been 30 years, so it's ingrained, and a show that's still repeated that much after 30 years. There's something to it. So that is my number one comfort show. Then I decided to go with shows that the two shows that I could think of that make me laugh out loud consistently every single time I watch them. So these two are on the same platform. The first being Will and Grace, which I still watch every day. It's on something every day. And I watch that and I still will laugh out loud. I mean, especially Jack and Karen. It should be called Jack and Karen as far as I'm concerned.
They should have gotten a spinoff.
And it's just, and all of the guest stars on the show just made it better, and it's just wonderful.
Yep.
And side with that is New Girl. It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
I put it on all the time. I can always crack up with that show, and it's just smart, and I love it.
Yep.
Then I kind of went in a 3-way-ish tie of these sitcoms that, again, I do watch over and over again. They make me laugh out loud, but I felt like they were also really smart, really well done, and in some of these cases, perfect. So the first being The Good Place.
Yeah.
That was 4 seasons of perfection and smart, clever writing, and I love it. And again, I watch it all the time.
I'll be totally honest. That's probably number 6 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
You can't really get better than Schitt's Creek. It was a perfect series from the first episode to the end. It never wavered. I never feel like, oh, let me skip this episode, or, it's just the best. And then for me, Ted Lasso's on the same thing. 3 seasons. Now, I have in parentheses with Ted Lasso because there is the connection of the same producers. Shrinking could outdo Ted Lasso. Shrinking, the show with Jason Segel, because the 1 season of Shrinking I did like better than Ted Lasso, but Ted Lasso is 3 seasons of really good television, and until I get more out of Shrinking and that it holds up, I'm not going to have it replace Ted Lasso.
I didn't even think about Shrinking, actually.
So good.
Didn't occur to me. It's really good. That's, that's up there for me too.
But that's, I mean, again, I could go back to the 80s. I could go back to even some of the others that I constantly watch whenever I need comfort shows. Happy Endings, Cougar Town. There's HBO shows like Grace and Frankie and Emily in Paris, and there's television's been great. And again, most of these have been like in the last 10 years, so it probably sounds like I'm just choosing these later shows. In a way I am, because without having to film in front of a live audience, you can have a certain kind of rhythm to it. Like 30 Rock, again, very close to getting on this list was 30 Rock. Yeah. That's just joke after joke after joke after joke, because you don't have to hold for applause, and you don't have to try and make it so that people are going to get it live,
Right.
So anyway, that's where we are with sitcoms. And
yeah, I just got to say, it just occurred to me just now, we caught a couple episodes of this the other night. The New Adventures of Old Christine.
Oh yeah, I watch that every
Julia
Sunday morning.
She had that. She was on Seinfeld.
Yeah, Seinfeld.
I mean,
I had Seinfeld for a bit on here.
Yeah.
Because it's so. How can you not?
Yeah. It's classic.
But New Christine, hysterical, and Veep cracks me up too. So it's hard. It's really hard.
It's so hard and she's so good.
She's so good. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So that's it. I would love for everyone to comment on what your top sitcoms are, what you think of our choices, and if we missed something. Because again, there's so many out there that we could have missed.
Now I feel like I've missed a lot. Because just in this conversation here, I'm like, I didn't think of oh.
Right. It's so hard.
Yeah, that's so tough.
Definitely let us know what you think.
Yep.
All right. So the one movie that we watched this week that we're going to talk about is A Family Affair that was on Netflix.
Yep.
starring Joey King, Zac Efron, and Nicole Kidman.
Yep.
The basis of this is Joey King is the assistant to Zac Efron's character, who is like a huge movie star. And he ends up by accident meeting her mom, and they kind of hit it off, and Joey King like having to deal with her boss and her mother dating type thing. That's it kind of in a nutshell.
That's a good setup. That's exactly what it is.
What did you rate this?
I gave it a 7.
Okay.
I was tempted to go a little bit higher, but I'm going to settle on a 7. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I guess I've never seen anything with Zac Efron. I've never not liked him.
Oh,
Everything
yeah.
I've seen him in, I've liked him or his character or whatever. This was, even though he was playing a real jerk for the most part, he comes around. He has his moments, right?
Yeah.
I liked it. I could do without Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
That's just me personally.
Yeah.
She was fine. Joey King was great. I thought she was good, although her character started to annoy me a little bit.
Got a little whiny.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, overall, I was entertained. I thought it was pretty good writing. It was clever. For what it was, which is nothing overly complicated. I thought it held you, or it held me pretty well.
Kathy Bates is in it too.
Oh yeah, Kathy
she was
Bates.
good.
Yes. Yeah.
I gave it a 6, and that was I increased it. My first thought was to do a 5, and I thought, it doesn't deserve that. And here's why I have a lower opinion of it.
Okay.
This is a comedy version and a poor man's version of The Idea of You, which is a movie on Prime with Anne Hathaway, which is a wonderful movie. And if I had to score that one, it would be a 9. And so I felt like this was just a dumb version of that. Nicole Kidman was definitely wrong. And I have a problem with Nicole Kidman in comedies. Do I love the comedies she's in? I always do, because there's of the other people or whatever.
I guess.
But, she's just too hard to be soft when, you know what I mean? Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so.
So I didn't like her in this. I even kind of didn't like him in this. I don't know.
Wow.
I mean, I'm still adjusting to the face and...
See, I didn't. That wasn't distracting for me at all, and I'm not sure that I noticed.
Well, you aren't
huge difference.
as big a fan of
That's
his
true.
with
That's true.
his original face.
I guess.
And again, it's not his fault. He broke his jaw. What are you gonna do? But I don't know. It wasn't. It was cute. I was entertained, but because I had this other movie in my head that just recently came out, it was just like I could not stop the comparisons.
Yeah.
And so, overall, was it cute and is it worth it? If you like all these people, of course. If you really don't, then I would say hold off. Or if you're really asking, I would say go watch The Idea of You and leave it at that.
Okay.
Which he has not seen yet. It's on our list. I do want him to see it. But,
I will see it, 'cause I like Anne Hathaway, and if it's a better version of this, I'm sure I'll like it.
Yeah, you will. You'll really like it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's that.
Okay.
We're going to move on to the Actors Corner.
Sounds like a good idea.
So this week we are inviting Nicole Kidman into the Actors Corner.
I'm not, but I'll deal with it. I'm not inviting her in.
You wouldn't, if she showed up at the door,
She
you
can
wouldn't
stand
invite her
outside.
in?
No.
Oh.
No.
Wow.
Well, I don't really care for her.
Okay. Well, I'm on the same boat. It depends. Like, I like her in, like, again, the things that I'm choosing, I like her in. And so, and it actually was hard for me to dwindle these down, because there are more things that I like her in than I don't. Okay, you go first.
Okay.
Nicole Kidman, movie you love.
Movie I love, just go with it.
Just go with it.
Adam Sandler.
I knew that was going to be on there, and I thought, she's not huge in the movie, but she has a big part of the movie.
She's got a big part of the movie, and she, to me, she can. I'm sure she doesn't play herself, but she's a,
Devlin.
what? Yeah, she's a Devlin.
Yeah, no, and it's a great movie, anyways. I mean,
Yeah,
with her in it, with her out of it, whatever. It's just a good Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yep.
Mine is To Die For. To Die For is one of my favorite movies she's ever done, and it's one of my favorite movies, probably on a list somewhere of all time. I just love the story. I think she was great in it. It's just one of those. Yeah.
Okay.
How about movies you like?
A Family Affair.
Really?
Yeah, I went through her list, and
You probably haven't seen a lot of this
I
stuff,
haven't
guess.
seen a lot of her stuff. I have seen enough that there were choices to be made, and I went with this one.
Okay.
Because I know it's recent, and that's kind of how I am. I got, kind of last in, first out. But I really liked this movie.
Okay,
I did.
good.
I almost gave it an 8.
Okay.
Sorry.
Calm down.
Sorry.
Oh my
Sorry.
goodness.
I'll stop rioting.
All right. Mine, Moulin Rouge. Of course, it's a musical, and again, even though not a huge fan of hers, I liked her in that. I
Yeah.
just love the movie.
Yeah.
So that's second on mine.
Okay.
Anything you hate?
Yep.
Okay.
The Hours.
Did you actually see that?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was good.
Even with Ed Harris and Meryl Streep, it couldn't save it.
I thought it was good.
No, that doesn't shock me.
Movie I hated, The Prom. And it's not that I entirely hated the movie. I didn't like her being cast in that role.
Yeah.
There were quite a few, James Corden also. There were some things in the movie, but definitely didn't like her being in that role. And so there was, I
totally get that. And look, with The Family Affair, I can think of a dozen actors I'd rather see in that role,
Yeah.
and it would be a 9 for me.
Yeah.
She dragged it down to a 7.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Nicole Kidman.
All right. Anything you secretly love?
Bewitched.
I love that. Well,
I
it's
know.
my Will Ferrell.
I know.
And again, I don't feel like she really worked, but then she does work in that role. I feel like I have a bigger problem with Nicole Kidman when she tries to be like the practical magic character, which I love that movie, couldn't
Okay.
make the list, but when she tries to be like ultra cool and sexy, I feel like that's where it's a bigger problem, whereas at least in Bewitched, she was kind of like, the stoic type. Like Stepford Mom, she was supposed to be like, oh, I'm so like cool with the black hair and stuff. Stepford Wives, sorry, moms.
Stepford Moms.
Anyway, which I love that movie.
that's a
Couldn't
different-
make the list.
It's
So,
a different movie.
Yeah. I secretly love Dead Calm. Love it.
Okay.
Her, Sam Neill, in the middle of the ocean, and then crazy what's his face comes out. Billy.
Crudup?
No,
Eichner.
Titanic. Is it Billy
Zane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Billy Zane comes and shows up he's stranded in the ocean and they take him in and it's so good.
I just want to take a minute and point out I knew 3 Billies.
Yes, thank
And
you.
and you said Titanic, and I got it.
You did.
That's big. You guys have no idea how big that is. You just witnessed something. That was a charmed moment. It's dumb,
Okay.
but it's charmed nonetheless.
All right, moving on. Anything you're embarrassed you haven't seen?
Not really.
Really? You should. You should be embarrassed you
Oh.
haven't seen Practical Magic.
Is Sandra Bullock in that?
Yes.
Yeah,
And they're
okay.
doing a sequel. It's coming out next year or something. So I'm very
Doing
excited for that.
Sequels to all these 30-year-old movies.
Big Little Lies also. She was very, very good in Big Little Lies.
Yeah,
That
okay.
couldn't make one of mine.
Yeah, well, Shailene, 5'8".
Nicole Kidman was 5'11", and she leans 5'8".
Oh my god.
Okay.
Nothing I'm embarrassed I haven't seen. Anything you're adding to your watch list?
So I've gone back and forth about this. So, the movie Australia.
Ugh.
Did you? Okay.
I haven't seen it actually,
Nope.
and I'm not embarrassed. I haven't seen it. It's just too long and too, it's just not for me.
It seems like an epic movie, and it's got every Australian in it.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, maybe I should see it. But based on your reaction,
No, don't, because I haven't seen it. So if you want to watch it, by all means, I'm just not going to be there watching it with you.
There's like 1,000,005 movies that I'd watched before that, so we'll never get to that.
Okay.
And I don't feel bad about it.
Okay. I have nothing I'm adding to my watch list.
Yeah.
I enjoy, look, I have a huge long list of her projects that I had to choose from. I enjoy a lot of her work. It's just sometimes she's in the wrong role for me. But
What
but
is the right role for her?
like Big Little Lies, she was very good in.
What was her character?
She was abused by her husband, which isn't the right thing, but she was just
A hardened.
kind of. Then like in 9 Perfect Strangers, she was like this ethereal like host, like yoga queen thing. It was weird. So it's like, I don't know.
Okay. I'm sorry I asked.
It's
not
like
that
you
I don't
just have
care.
yeah.
I don't.
I think it's up to everyone's own personal
Yeah.
opinion, and if you like her and everything, great. If you don't, who cares?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I
Yeah.
feel so not strong about Nicole Kidman.
She doesn't draw me to anything, and she doesn't deter me from watching anything. So I will watch whatever she's in, and I might like it, I might not.
So you can take her or leave her.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think that sums it up beautifully.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was a long one. We got a lot of stuff in this week.
Sorry about that.
So
Gosh, we're sorry.
thanks for hanging around.
Yeah.
If you can, please comment down below with anything that we may have missed regarding Nicole Kidman or Disney cruises or anything.
Yep.
And like this video if you would, subscribe, and we will see you next week.
We'll try this again.
Thanks for coming to Our Charmed Midlife.
That's right.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everybody.